everyone, and welcome to Phasmophobia. I'm going to show you how to get started in it. We're not going to go way too heavy into everything. I just want to give you the basics so that you can get started, because otherwise I think it would spoil some of the fun if I went too deep into every little nuance of the game, and it would also probably be a several hour long video at that. So what we're going to do is just pretend like we're just starting in the game. So give me a moment. I'm going to get rid of all of my items, remove those. If my frames drop, just know it's because my PC is somewhat shitty, and there's not a whole lot I can do about that. When you're starting out, I would suggest playing on intermediate. A lot of people start on amateur because it's the lowest level, but honestly, I feel like personally you should be on intermediate. The easiest level is just boring. It's not fun. Even if you want it to be boring, you'll have just as much fun on intermediate as you do amateur, but intermediate gives you better rewards, and I think it's even easier because the whole point of this game is to find evidence on ghosts, and intermediate gives you more evidence. So play on intermediate. And then we're going to start at Tanglewood. You're probably going to have a very limited number of places to go, so just start there. And again, I apologize for the frames. Once we get into the game, everything's fine. For some reason, the lobby just completely destroys my computer, and I don't know why. And then we'll explain. See, look, now everything's fine. So this is the van. This is what you're going to see when you're first starting out. This is your sanity bar. Just a little information about it. Your sanity goes down the more time you spend in the dark and the more interactions you have with the ghost. And generally, things get a little bit worse the lower your sanity is. The ghost will become more active and has the potential to murder you. This is an activity meter. Whenever the ghost does anything, you'll see little spikes on here. Let you know what's going on. Here's the map. On the map, you can see a couple of things. If we're in multiplayer, you can see other people walking around the map. You can see the breaker here. And also, you have different floors, so we've got a basement that we can look at. This is the objectives board in Phasmophobia. The whole point is to try to make money. So what you're going to do is complete objectives to get more money. Knowing that we don't have a lot of equipment over here, you're probably not going to be able to get a lot of these done. Like, look at this one. I need to detect the presence with a motion sensor. I don't have a motion sensor. I'm dirt poor. I just started. Repel it with a smudge stick. I don't have a smudge stick. We don't got anything. So the thing is, you will need to get more equipment in order to get more objectives done. But the catch is, if you die, you lose your equipment. So you're sort of gambling. Whenever you come in with your equipment, you're hoping to get more money because you have more equipment. But if you die, you lose your equipment. So it can be a little bit rough getting started. We also know the name of the ghost is Josephine Nilsson. That could come up later. And now let's look at our starting equipment. We've got an EMF reader. Whenever the ghost interacts with something, it will give off an EMF reading, so we'll want to use that to find the ghost. We have a photo camera, so we can take pictures of evidence, a flashlight, a spirit box, so that we can try to communicate with the ghost, a black light, so we can see fingerprints and footprints whenever it steps in something that allows us to see that. The ghost writing book. If the ghost writes in it, that gives us a piece of evidence. A dots projector, which is another piece of evidence, and a video camera. For now, I'm going to start off with a flashlight, which, if it's in your hand, you have to click in order to make it come on and off. But if it's not in your hand, there's a key binding, which is by default on T, that lets you turn it on and off. This is very important. If you're ever in a situation where the ghost is going around killing people, you need to make sure that all of your electronics are off. If your flashlight's on, the ghost can sense you and come and kill you. So that's important. Oh! Thanks for the resub, Moose. Thank you. Alright, next important thing, get this key. I'm going to take the EMF reader. Whenever you're going into the house for the first time, and you're trying to figure out where the ghost is, you want to bring things that can help you on the move. So an EMF reader is good for that. It's on, you just walk around with it. I would also suggest something like the spirit box or the black light, because it's something that you could do while moving. If you bring in the dots projector or the book, you're gonna just be standing around with it until you find the ghost. So taking things with you that helps you find the ghost first is pretty important. So we're gonna go in here. This is Tanglewood. It's the OG house. Let's turn our flashlight on and head in here. So the first thing I always want to do is make sure that the breaker's on. See, I can't turn any lights on. So we saw on the map that the breaker is in here in the garage. So I'm going to come over here. You touch things by left clicking and you grab a hold of them and then move them. It's a little bit wonky to get at first, but after a while it'll come naturally to you. So we got the breaker on, which means I can turn lights on. As I said before, if you're in the dark, you lose sanity faster, so you're going to want to be in the light when you can to preserve your sanity. Also, in these first moments moving through the house, make sure to listen. You can hear when the ghost throws things or touches something, so just keep your ears peeled. And also look for hiding spots, because if the ghost starts hunting, you're going to want to have places that you can hide. See? Flashlight off, EMF off, we can hide in there. Alright, now let's walk around here and see if we can find some things. For me, I've walked through these houses. Oh, I just heard a door touch. So because I heard the door touch, I know one of these doors should be giving me an EMF reading. So we're just going to go through the house real fast. It might have been one of the garage doors, or it might be this closet door over here. Aha! I caught it just as we ran out of EMF. So you heard the sound? That little EMF sound of the boob lets us know that the ghost is probably here. Oh, it just turned on a light. Let's take a picture of that. There we go. Oh, it did it again. Oh, it's throwing stuff in here. All right, so the ghost is very active in here. We need to get more evidence collecting information though. So we need to empty our pockets. We need to go... Oh, it touched this door. Perfect. Well, that's something we can get EMF for. So I'm just going to drop everything here and run back out to the van and get some more stuff. Because evidence collecting things only help you in the house. It doesn't help you from the van. So let's get a thing to check for fingerprints. Let's get this and let's get this. So it touched that door. Let's see if we've got any fingerprints on the door. Oh, look at that! We got a fingerprint right there. Nice. Let's get a picture of that. Boop. Oh, that door too. Let's check the EMFs in here. All right. If that ever... Oh, let's talk about a couple things here. Look at that. Ah, see on the camera, there's little orb in the middle. We got orbs. Very nice. And now let's try talking to it on the spirit box. Where are you? Are you here? How old are you? Oh, it's freezing. Look, you can see my breath. Can you see my breath? Let me grab my flashlight and walk backwards a little bit. Walk backwards. Walk backwards. There it is. Did you see my breath? Did you see it? Maybe I should just sit here for a second. There we go. Is it showing up on screen? Oh, you can see it in the light there. So we've got a few pieces of evidence we just got. I'm going to step outside and open up my journal and go to the evidence tab. What did we see? We saw fingerprints. We saw a ghost orb. We saw freezing temperatures. So it's probably a Hantu. There we go. Now, this is, it's kind of a funny situation that we've ended up in because this is technically possibly a mimic, because mimics, if I get rid of ghost orb, if I just had fingerprints and freezing temperatures, you would see the mimic. The other one it has is spirit box. However, the mimic has a very special ability to give you a fake piece of evidence. It gives you fake ghost orbs. So you see when I put the X on that, it scratches it out. That's because it doesn't actually have ghost orbs, it fakes it. So this could be a mimic situation, and the only way we could rule that out is through more spirit box testing. So I'm just gonna do that again real fast while we know it's in here. Where are you? And there we go! Perfect. I am sorry that was the, this was my little test run because that required some advanced knowledge to not get bamboozled by, but I'm so sorry. That would have been mighty funny if I didn't get this. So it was the mimic after all. Wow, I was really hoping I could just get a ghost that I could just straightforward get 3 pieces of evidence and give that to you, but there you go. That's one of the obtuse things about about phasmophobia. You would have never known that was the mimic until you learned about that piece of information. But otherwise, outside of that, that is basically all you have to do for Phasmo. Go into the house, listen for activity, go and confirm where it is, then drop all of your evidence collecting stuff in the room, continue to test things until you get 3 pieces of evidence, figure out which ghost it is, and then get the heck out of there. The faster you can do it, the safer you are. Because, look, we did all of that and only lost about 10% sanity. Maybe about 12. So we were still relatively safe. And we only had to spend a little bit of time in there because we just moved quickly. We went in there, heard some noises, checked it, came back out, grabbed stuff, moved it in there, checked some more, and then got our 3 pieces of evidence and left. So now all we have to do is make sure we've got the right ghost circled, and go. Wonderful. For those of you that don't know all of the little intricacies, just check all of the evidence. Even if you've already got 3, just check the other ones, because if you ever end up with 4, you know it's a mimic. And there we go. We got the mimic done. It's kind of shitty. I'm sorry that my cursory introduction one for this video was one of the most oddball ones to get, but that should help you out on your adventures. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of it in the future, subscribe. And if you want to give anybody else your own little tips or tricks in the comments down below, go right ahead. And until next time, take care of yourself and take care of those around you. Bye-bye.